Welcome back. We have already discussed about chemical coordination in animals. That means how these hormones are working for the animals, for the coordination between the outside environment and internal environment of the organism. The same thing is going on in the plants also. The chemical coordination will be going on in the plants also. Here, plants also living organisms and they show the living characteristics. One of the such a living characteristic is locomotion. One of the such living characteristic is locomotion. Actually, what is the meaning of locomotion? Moving of the total body from one place to another place. This is called locomotion. Moving of total body from one place to another place. This is the locomotion. But here we know that plants cannot move from one place to another place. But they show the locomotion, no doubt. But the locomotion is like a movement of the body parts, like a bending and moving from one side to another side when there is a wind. And these are the falling down of the leaves, fruits, flowers, as well as shoot is moving towards the sunlight, a root is moving towards the earth. So these are the some of the movements that are shown by the plant. But the plant body cannot move from one place to another place, total body, but it can show the movement of the body parts. But whereas the animals, they show the locomotion for searching of food. Wherever the food is available, to that area these animals will be moving continuously. And in the searching of shelter, because the animals need to survive, need to protect themselves from the danger, from the enemies. So they need to have the shelter. And animals can also move escaping from the danger. Suppose if there is a deer, a tiger is target the deer completely. So the deer will run from that area to save itself from the tiger. So there it will running, walking, jumping, hopping, leaping. These are all the one kind of movements. And these movements are shown by only animals. That means the locomotion can be shown by animals. So because animals cannot prepare their own food, they have to depend on the plants. So wherever the plants are available to that area, these animals will be moving. So they show the locomotion. But whereas the plants can prepare their own food and they preserve the food in the various parts of the plant body. So they need not move from one place to another place for food, because they are only manufacturing the food. Why should they go again? So that's why they are fixed at one place. They are fixed at one place, but they show the movement of the body parts, and they show the movement. They show the coordination between the environmental conditions as well as the internal condition of the plant body. So usually when you see a snake, immediately we will stop for a while because of the shock, and after that we will give some kind of movement that running away from that area. Here see, when the snake is coming across on the way, on our way otherwise, that is called stimulus. By seeing it and stopped, this is reaction. So this kind of stimulus which is happened That means the actions which are done or the differences which are occur in the environmental conditions are called stimulus. Are called stimulus. But the actions which are given by the living organisms, the reactions which are given by the living organisms according to the stimuli, that is called as response. So every organism, every living organism will give the response and this response may be very small response or big response, sometimes sudden response. But when case of plants, these responses which are given by the plants are very slow, They cannot give the immediate response because they don't have the nervous system. We cannot find the nervous system in the plant body like in the animals. Animals we find the nervous system. So immediate response will be given. When you see a snake, the sensory organ will observe the snake, that is eyes, and the optic nerve immediately take the information to the occipital lobe of the brain, cerebrum, and there it is interpreted, analyzed, and immediately the motor nerve will bring the information to the muscles of the leg. Then immediately we will run away from that area. This will be done within a fraction of a second. That is called immediate response will be given by the animals. But whereas very slow response will be given by the plants. That is the different we giving the response towards the stimulus. But whatever it is, they also give the response. So giving response to the external stimuli is called irritability. So this giving response, because of there is no nervous system in the plant body, this giving response as well as coordination in the body functions will be taken part, will be controlled by some kind of chemicals that are secreted in the plant body. Those chemicals are called as hormones. And that is nothing but a chemical coordination. The coordination which is brought among the body parts of the plant is called chemical coordination, because it is done because of the chemical messengers called as hormones. So it is called chemical coordination. So let us see what type of hormones are there and how they will be coordinating these functions of this plant, that we will discuss. Today our topic is chemical coordination in the plants. So as I told you already, the chemical coordination is taking place in the plant body. That means some chemicals are secreting in the plant body. Those chemicals are called as chemical messengers. They will take the information, message to one part to another part, from one part to another part, or the particular area of the plant body. These messages will be taken by these hormones. That's why these hormones are also called as chemical messengers. So these chemical messengers are nothing but hormones. Okay, and these hormones secreted in the plant body. So these are called plant hormones. We can say them as plant hormones, or we can say that phytohormones. Phyton means plant. Phyton means plant. The hormone, the chemicals that are secreted in the plant body. So they are also called as phytohormones. Actually, the word hormone was first introduced by Bayliss and Starling. Bayliss and Starling in the year 1902. Bayliss and Starling. These two scientists have introduced the word hormones in the year 1902. Okay. So then onwards, these hormones word is continued in the biological world. These are the chemical messengers, and they carry the messages from the source of the plant body to where this message is useful to the plant body, to that area. These messages will be carried by this phytohormones. Okay. So the source where the hormones are secreted, that is called as, the place is called as source. The place where the hormones are secreted, that is called as source, and the place where these hormones are utilized, the place where these hormones are utilized, that is called as sink. Remember these words, very important words. The place where the hormones are secreted, that is called source. The place where the hormones are utilized, that is called as sink. So let us learn about the plant hormones or phytohormones. There are 5 phytohormones are presented in the plant body. 5 hormones are presented, that is auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, ethylene, and abscisic acid. The 5 hormones are presented in the plant body. According to their functions, in these 5 hormones have been classified into 2 groups. That is, the first 3, the hormones which promote the growth and development in the plant body. The hormones which promote the growth and development in the plant body, they are called as growth promoters. Growth promoters. The hormones which suppress the growth of the plant body, that means that inhibit, suppress means what? Inhibit, not help in the growth and development. They maintain the growth and development and they won't allow the extra growth. So they inhibit or they suppress the growth and development in the plant body. Those are called as growth inhibitors. The last 2 are called as growth inhibitors. So they are the 2 types. Auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins are called as growth promoters, as they promote the growth of the plant. Ethylene and abscisic acid are called growth inhibitors, as they suppress the growth of the plant. That means growth and development is regulated by growth promoters as well as the growth inhibitors. Some hormones are increasing the growth of the plant, some hormones are decreasing the growth of the plant. That means these two types of hormones are working opposite direction. One is supporting the growth, another one is suppressing the growth, opposing the growth. Okay, so like this, these hormones are completely regulating the growth of the plant body. That's why these are classified into two: growth promoters and growth inhibitors. Let us learn one by one. First of all, auxins. Auxins are the growth promoters. Actually, this is the Greek word like auxins. It's a Greek word, auxins, meaning is to grow. And this auxins word first given by F.W. Went. A scientist called as F.W. Went is the disciple of Charles Darwin in the year 1928. In the year 1928, F.W. Went is the disciple of Charles Darwin, and he gave the word, he introduced the word auxins. The meaning of auxins in English is to grow. This is a Greek word, it is a Greek word. Already you know that one. All the biological terms are taken from Greek or Latin language. So, these auxins are mostly present in the meristematic tissue. In 9th you have learned about this one, meristems, meristematic tissue. Do you know where it is present? Do you remember that where it is presented? Yes, it is presented in the first tip of the shoot, tip of the shoot and root, lateral sides, there are three meristem tissues. I told you that. First one, apical meristem, that is presented in the apex of the shoot and root, and lateral meristem, that is presented in the lateral sides of the plant, and intercalary meristem, that is presented in between the vascular bundles. Okay, these are the three types of meristematic tissue, and these auxins are mostly presented in the meristematic tissue only. Why? Because as auxins are useful for growth and development in the plant body means nothing but cell division. This cell division will be taking place only in the meristematic tissue. Wherever the meristematic tissue is presented in the plant body, there this cell division will be taking place. For this cell division, they need the hormone called as auxins. Okay, and so that these auxins promote the growth and development in the plant in the places of apex of the shoot and root, that means tip of the root and root, shoot and root, as well as the lateral sides, and in between the in between these vascular bundles. Okay, that is the cell division is segment, that is only called as growth and development. That's it. Okay, and these auxins are of two types: natural auxins and artificial auxins. Natural auxins, the auxins which are naturally secreted in the plant body, those are called as natural auxins. That is IAA, indole 3 acetic acid. Acetic acid, indole 3 acetic acid. This is the natural auxin. And artificial auxin, that is artificial auxin, which is prepared in the laboratories artificially, that is NAA, artificial auxin, NAA, naphthalene acetic acid, naphthalene acetic acid, this is NAA, and 2,4-D, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. Dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, NAA and 2,4-D are the artificial hormones, artificial auxins, okay, and IAA is the natural auxin. It is naturally presented in the plant body, and these are prepared in the laboratories. But of course, these also used for growth and development only. If in case this natural hormone is not properly working, then they go for using of the NAA for the growth and development of the plant. Whereas the 2,4-D, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, this is the 2,4-D, is used as a weedicide. Weedicide means it's a chemical which destroys the unwanted plants which grow along with the agricultural plants. So rice, wheat, jowar, bajra, these are all the agricultural crops. So when they are growing in the fields, along with them some unwanted plants also will be growing. Those unwanted plants are called as the weeds. And these weeds are controlled by 2,4-D, that is called weedicide, 2,4-D. And it is sprayed on the plants, but it won't affect to the agricultural fields, only affected to the weeds which are growing, unwanted plants which are growing in the agricultural field. The regular crop, the original crop will not be affected by this chemical. And it is a very good medicine, very good chemical to destroy the weeds, unwanted plants in the agriculture. This is also an example of auxins. These two are artificial auxins, and this is the natural auxins. And tomorrow we will discuss about, the next video we will discuss about the functions of the auxins. Okay, thank you.